Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. We're GabNet, and we've got you covered live 5 nights a week. First Tuesday through Friday at 9:30 Eastern, it's The Exchange.
Harlan Ellison totally insisted that there were no sounds in space on Babylon 5. Watching it for 20 minutes will clearly show that there are sounds in space. So what the fuck are you pulling this out of, Mr. Harlan Ellison? That pretty much cemented the idea of who Harlan was in my brain.
Tuesday through Friday at 10 Eastern, join Alex Bennett on the Ramble.
You don't think Bill Clinton's a pervert?
No, I don't.
Go ahead.
No, I really don't. I think I think he's a man who let his dick talk for him. You know, I think he's a guy who was pursued by a young woman and should have said no, but he didn't. Now, the only woman I ever talked to that fucked Bill Clinton was Jennifer Flowers. She kept saying during the interview, you know, I really did have sex with Bill Clinton. And I asked her the question, I said, that's not what's important to me. What's important to me was he a gentleman? And she said, he was terrific. She said, every time we'd have sex, the next day he would call and see if I was okay. He never dodged my calls. If I wanted to call him, he was an absolute gentleman.
Tuesday through Friday at midnight, The Intersection.
We now know that Trump doesn't hate all Democrats. He at least likes the Democrats who he perceives to be as crooked as he is.
Ah, wait a minute, ring that bell!
I mean, between Menendez and Blagojevich, you know, who he pardoned.
If you like sports, we've got that too, with The Arena, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
There's a lot of long-ass games come knockout round because they have to finish. So you have to play up to 120 minutes plus a penalty shootout. A penalty kick shootout.
Finally, you can get hot and bothered on Connections at 10 p.m. Eastern Monday and by delay Tuesday through Friday at 1 a.m. Eastern.
Many customers have seen a young girl in period clothing. Do it. Just say it. I can't say it. Because she knows, even though it means something totally different, immediately she's thinking she's wearing rags.
Bloody Mary.
Come on, do
Bloody
it.
Mary. Bloody Mary.
That was my own joke. What? Were you looking in the mirror when you did that?
No.
Catch up on all the shows with our weekend flashback. All shows have the Citizen Panel, an exclusive concept of GabNet. It's new, it's daring, it's talk like you've never heard it before. You love GabNet. You love the hosts and the Citizen Panels. In fact, you wish you could take them wherever you go. On your computer, log on to gabnet.net, where our stream is available around the clock. On your TV, GabNet is available on Roku with the same around-the-clock stream, plus all the latest episodes of GabNet programs, old favorites, videos, and tons of celebrity interviews. When you're mobile, we're on your iPhone or iPad with podcasts accessible via iTunes or Stitcher, and that same around-the-clock stream on TuneIn. If you don't want GabNet wherever you go, well, the hell with you. Go ahead, listen to your old-fashioned talk shows that do things in the same old predictable way. Meanwhile, the rest of us will be having fun listening to talk like you've never heard it before on GabNet. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Hey everybody, how are you? It's Alex Bennett and it is the Ramble, and the Ramble is here until the cock crows at midnight. Well, the cock doesn't really crow at midnight, does it? Anyway, my cock crows at midnight. How's that? Did that settle it for you? Okay. Anyway, we're going to have a citizen panel a little bit later. But right now, we go out to the other coast and up north on that coast, and we check in with, well, an old lover of mine. I don't know if that's the way she'd put it, but here she is. Ladies and gentlemen, Lake Oswego, Oregon, right?
Yeah, well, just call it Portland.
Portland. Yeah. But then we associate you with like all the stuff we saw in Portlandia, and that's not exactly wonderful.
I watched the first episode many years ago, and then I stopped.
It actually was a very funny show, but it certainly didn't make your neck of the woods that wonderful. Everybody seemed a little too into what can we call it? The herbal lifestyle and things like that.
Probably not as bad as they made out.
Probably not as bad as they made out. So how is everything in the land where you can commit suicide if you want to?
Well, it's very hot. We're having a hot spell, but that's everywhere in the world above the equator right now.
I had a $500 electric bill last month because of the heat.
From cooling.
Oh yeah, from the air conditioners. I have two air conditioners working at a time here. I have the one in the bedroom, and then I have the one in here in the studio, which I have to keep on a lot because I got to keep the equipment cool.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'm lucky. I'm on the first floor, so no heat, so no sun beats down on me. And it always cools down to 50s overnight, so I open the windows early in the morning and cool down the house. I hardly ever turn on the air conditioner.
Wow.
I'm pretty lucky. In fact, it's cheaper for me, it's opposite you, cheaper for me in the summer than it is in the winter because I have electric heat.
Yeah. Anyway, so what is new in your life?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, then thank you for calling, and we'll...
What about your life?
My life. I've been going to physical therapy.
For what?
For my numbness in my feet.
Oh, what did they say about that?
It's a nerve, and my spine has arthritis, and then the nerve is being pinched. So.
And so, will this fix it?
Who knows? We'll see. I imagine. I'm hoping.
Okay. I wish I had a list of things that happened this week that were interesting, but you know what's happened to me in my old age is I go to sleep on Sunday night and I wake up Saturday morning and I don't know what happened in between. I can't remember what I did each day.
Oh, wow. Well, anyway, let me see here. First of all, your health is good, right? Doesn't seem like you have a problem at all, right?
Yes.
And so your health is, I guess, better than mine now because my feet are numb.
Yeah. Well, I just I hold that health in a precious little place in me. Because I never expected it to be, and I'm about back to normal. I had a year-long bad episode, is how I'm beginning to think of it, and now life goes on as it was before, more or less, almost.
More or less. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I will tell you with this physical therapy that I'm doing, I hate it because they give you homework.
Well, of course, you should do this stuff every day.
Yeah. I have to do these exercises every day, and the guy I had the other day put it the best way I've ever heard it put. He said, "Don't think of this as doing exercises. Think of it as taking medicine. You take a pill every day. You do these every day.
That makes sense."
He said,
and
that will make you better."
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So far, I can't say that things are incredible, but what the hell.
Listen to us, two old people going on about their health,
well,
for God's sake.
The thing is, we came to this point where we could say this,
That's true.
How many?
True.
You know, I mean,
when the big events in your life are all about health,
I
don't know.
You know what Marjorie said, and it's true. Whenever we go out to dinner with a group of older people, the discussion immediately goes to medicine, health. What's wrong with you? Is it your thing getting better? You know, it's not like in the old days. It was like, so who'd you have sex with lately? You know.
I never said that or even was asked that. But
okay.
I
Well,
get your point.
Among guys, we would do that, but now it's like, I've got this thing, and whatever. I don't know.
You know. This morning I got an email that a friend for many years, more than 10 years, who I never met in person, an internet friend, had died yesterday. And, you know, it's not like a 10-year-old or even a 40-year-old dying. She was 89. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's also behind our questions when, you know, there used to be a joke when I was younger about when people ask you, how are you, they're not asking for a litany of your health problems. But it turns into that when we get old. And I wonder if that is partially what it's about, that we're checking in to see how we each are, that we're still here, sort of. You know?
Yeah.
I think that might be part of it.
Yeah.
And the litany of what's wrong is kind of a recitation of how close we might be to not being here anymore.
Yeah. Of course, when people say, so how are you, they really don't care. How are you means the same thing as hello. Yeah, how are you? So if you then say, well, my back's been bothering me and this pollen is just killing me, they don't care. They really don't want to know. And you know this because? Because I'm willing to tell everybody an update on my health at any given moment. It drives my wife. Nothing has changed. It drives my wife nuts. Well, now it's her job and not yours. You know. That's right. Yeah. Drove me nuts too. But I wasn't. I don't know if I was as much of a hypochondriac when I was young. I guess I was. Yeah. Yes, you were. Yeah. Yes, you were. Yeah. But I could never. There was a time when I wasn't, though. You know, when I always found that I was hypochondriac when I had no problems. You were looking for something. Yeah. If I was out of work and looking for work and things were terrible and I had to do something about it and blah, 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 and whatever, I didn't even think about my health. And then when everything is fine, it's my health. Alex, you've been remarkably healthy, like me, all your life. Yeah. No more. Why all those years did you ever even think about it? I don't know. I think maybe it's a preoccupation with me. And were either of your parents that way? I don't remember that they were. No, not at all. You know. Maybe it was something when I was a kid that I don't know. You know, some place like my mother didn't pay attention to me unless I was sick. You know, my mother didn't pay attention to me. It's an excuse for everything. And my mother paid too much attention to me. That was the problem. Yes, well, Jewish mothers, you know. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm claustrophobic, because she was so smothering. Oh, I don't know that's the reason. That's why now it's my mother's fault I can't get into an MRI machine. Okay. I've never had to, so I don't know. It doesn't sound pleasant. They never did an MRI on you with all the chazarai that was going on in your life? Really? All kinds of other scans and tests and stuff, but not that one. I wasn't going to go to the neurologist because I knew the first thing the neurologist would say, well, we'll do an MRI. And he didn't. He said, we'll get an X-ray. Mm-hmm. You know, and he could see it in the X-ray. So, yeah. What the hell? I didn't have to go into that coffin. I refuse to. It has to be like one of these open MRIs. I've already. Is there such a thing? Oh yeah. There's an MRI. You go in, you just sit there, and the thing does what it has to do. There's another one where you kind of lie there, but you're not in a tube. You know. So they do have open MRIs. Because
I hope I'm done with those sorts of tests.
Well, they know that the biggest problem with MRIs is that certain people are, in my case, like just amazingly claustrophobic. I call it terminally claustrophobic.
Look at this room in this picture that you're in. That you've got two doors behind you. They're both closed. The computer on your right seems to be very near you, and the shelves with the DVDs are pretty close. And that's okay?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. No.
Okay.
That does no. I have high ceilings. My ceilings are almost 12 feet high. And
that's hard to clean cobwebs.
And even if they were lower, I
like
wouldn't. I only feel claustrophobia when I'm closed in.
So, what do you think about the latest developments with our political system these days?
You mean President Trump?
Sure, I do. Is there any other topic in politics?
Do we have to refer to him as president? Is it possible that we?
Yes, it's not him. It is the office, and you should.
Oh, I should turn this on.
Isn't that cute on air?
Yeah. I always turn that on before I do anything, and this isn't going to match up because we record this earlier in the day, and so when I finally do the show, I'm probably not going to be wearing the same shirt. And and the light will have already been on, so maybe I'll remember to leave it off tonight so it matches when I.
Don't worry about it. I'll bet nobody really minds.
Yeah, our president. I've gotten to the point where I wish I could say I've just absolutely given up on worrying about it. You know, he's an asshole. He is treating the presidency in a way in which he's not respecting the presidency. You know, they say you should respect your president. Well, I don't think he respects the presidency.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't even know what it's about. He doesn't know history. He doesn't know politics. He certainly doesn't know foreign affairs. And he's getting us in deep doo-doo, as it were.
He acts like Willy Wonka just gave him the golden ticket, you know, and that he can do anything he wants to do. You know, he can
The thing that's making me, there's so many things that terrify me about what's happened since he became president, but the one that keeps eating at me and eating at me and eating at me are the little kids. And now this week there's another deadline for matching them up with their parents, and the federal government is saying that there are hundreds that will never be done. I heard them say this morning.
Because the parents have been deported already.
Well, this is what I'm getting to. And they said that because so many parents have been deported, they're not going to go to those other countries to try to match them up. You're the one who snatched the kids away. It's our responsibility, America's responsibility, to do that, to match up the kids wherever they are. And we're apparently just not going to do it. Hundreds and hundreds of little kids.
Wow. Yeah,
who we snatched away illegally and will never know who their real parents were.
And you know what he said when he was asked about this? Well, you just shouldn't have done something illegal.
When they weren't doing anything illegal, they were seeking asylum, almost all of them.
Yeah.
That's not illegal. That's legal in our country.
It's just he has no sense of decency, you know?
Yes.
I mean,
It's worse than that. It goes further than that.
There are some people who truly are worried about his mental capabilities.
I don't have any knowledge or experience to be able to say anything about that.
Yeah, but still, there's a reason to worry. You know, he acts in irrational ways, and it's pretty terrible actually the way he reacts. You know, so I mean, it's embarrassing. It is just so very embarrassing.
It's funny, I said with a friend the other day on the phone that I'm so glad I'm not traveling in Europe as I used to do so often for work, because I'm really ashamed to, hold up and say, oh, I'm an American, What we've done here in so many different ways, different occasions, it is so embarrassing. I don't know how much of it is illegal. Here's something I don't get. It has to do with the new Supreme Court nominee, but other things in general, is that a president Remember when Nixon said, if a president does it, it's not illegal, I mean, which is just outrageous. But they're carrying it to this president by saying whatever goes on with the Mueller investigation and the Southern District of New York and whatever other investigations are going on, whatever they find that might or might not be legal in terms of Trump's behavior is okay. Nothing will be done because he's a sitting president. Isn't that why we have a vice president? Not talking about whether you like this one or not, but isn't the whole point is that when the president can no longer fulfill his duties, that's why we've got a backup over here in the corner.
Yeah.
And why should he not be prosecuted for the same kind of crimes any you or me or anybody else would be prosecuted for?
Well, unfortunately, he can't be. But there is a method to being able to do it, and it's called impeachment. There's a difference. The president can't be indicted while he's in office. But
who says? Is that in the Constitution?
It's somewhere, I don't know, somewhere, either that or the Supreme Court deemed it as so or whatever. But that doesn't matter. We still have the means to be able to deal with him. If he went and shot somebody, we could not indict him for killing that person, but we could impeach him for killing that person.
That's wrong. I'm saying that. I'm not quoting anybody.
You know,
that to me is on its face wrong.
Once he's out,
why is he different from you or me in that respect?
Once he's out of office, all bets are off.
No, but then aren't there statutes of limitation then? There are all kinds of crimes that if too much time goes by, you can't prosecute people.
Listen, I will go out and get a law degree and get back to you on that.
Okay, I will hold my breath.
You know, I'll just get a law degree and figure that one out. You know what I saw today? This was amazing. He's still, most people when they become president put their things in a blind trust so that while they're in office they don't deal with their business. He hasn't, okay? So he's still making ties, shirts, jackets. He's still making vodka. He's still making any number of products, all of which and none of which are made in the USA.
No.
They're made in China. They're made in Ethiopia. They were looking at his daughter's company. When China, the conditions in China were bad, she moved to Ethiopia with her stuff. But they don't make it here in the U.S. They're not giving Americans jobs, turning out their products.
She's also exempt from tariffs of her products when they're brought back to this country.
Why is that?
They were special. I read that they were specially exempt from his new tariffs. This is how we live today.
I mean, he looks at being president as his own, what could we call it, his own personal treasury.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, how much money do we spend so every weekend he can go play golf?
You know, another thing just came up just before we started this interview on whatever was on television before we started this, that there's that you just mentioned, and I can't remember the other one. It just went out of my head. Forget it. Oh, God, it's wonderful to be old.
Yeah. What happens is you have to go back to the very beginning of and then bring yourself up to the moment, and then you remember what it was.
As soon as we hang up, it will come to me.
I have to start with, so I was born. And eventually, after about an hour, we come back and that's what I wanted to talk about.
Conversations between two old people are just impossible.
I think I told you this last time that I went to did I tell you when I went to the neurologist, he asked me a bunch of questions?
And no, you didn't tell me this.
Oh, and he said, what do you do for a living? I said, well, I'm kind of retired, but I'm doing a podcast talk show. He says, on what? I said, politics. And he said, where...
So then he asked you who the president is?
So he asked me, so he had some questions he wanted to see my cognition or whatever. Yes. And he said, who's the president? And I said, Donald Trump, unfortunately. He said, who's the governor of the state of New York?
And you'd, oh.
And he said, okay, who's the mayor of New York City?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Where is your brain? Did you forget, or you just don't pay attention to that part of politics?
Apparently, I don't pay that much attention to that part of politics because when I do a show at night, I'm playing to a national audience, so we talk about national stuff. I don't talk about what's going on in New York.
Right.
And so I couldn't immediately come up with Cuomo and de Blasio, which I can do right now. And it made it into my medical record. He could not remember
that's right.
who the governor and the mayor was of New York.
Did he ask you what year it is?
Well, yeah, he asked me where I lived and, things like that. What day were you born? Blah, blah,
What does this have to do with your feet?
I talked to my friend Shecky, who was also seeing a neurologist about an entirely different situation, and he said, he gave me the same test. He said, but he never asked me about the governor of the state or the mayor of New York City.
But I don't understand why this was this just generally checking your cognition?
Yeah.
Or was it related to your feet?
No, it was, I guess it has something to do with the nervous system because another neurologist asked another friend the same questions. So.
Oh, jeez.
So I imagine, So
the thing with physicians, I guess now, is that after you've passed a certain birthday, they assume you might be afflicted with cognition problems.
I have cognition problems, but it's funny that as I say, they always say you can always remember the latest stuff, the older stuff, but the stuff that just happened, you can't. And, I'll sit there and there's some movie on from 1930 and I can tell you who the actress is.
Mm-hmm.
But
I have to tell you about that.
In fact, the other day I was talking to, I was talking in the air, I was talking to Shecky, somebody, about when I was a kid. One of the most tragic things I remember was a story about a little girl stuck in a well. Mm-hmm. And now I can't
remember that story.
And now I can't remember her name, but I came up with that name immediately.
I was just going to say that recently, incidents from my childhood, and by that it's apparent, it seems to have been more than 9 or 10 years old, but not quite an adult yet, have come back to me more vividly than in the past. Not very often, occasionally. But things I haven't thought of in decades even have come back. And before I used to question that thing about old people more easily remember older events than newer events. And like I said when we first started talking, my day-to-day memory has gotten to the point where I go to bed on Sunday night and I wake up Saturday morning as far as I know about what happened in between.
Yeah, I was just looking up to see if I could find the name of that girl.
We'll live without the name right now.
Well, all they came up with was Jessica McClure, who was the latest kid to be stuck in a well.
No. There's one way back when we were quite young.
I know, and I had the name. The name just came off the top of my head.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one
now
that
I'm
was
worried
covered
because I can't
live by television.
Now I'm worried because I can't remember it.
Don't worry about it. I mean, do you really need to know?
Yeah.
I don't worry if I don't need to know.
I guess. But it's early. Maybe I'll probably call you back around 4:00 this afternoon and go, it was blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I had the name.
I don't know how much
like
anybody's going to like all this health talk, but
well, listen. When people call my show now, I call it Alex's waiting room because they all have medical problems. Every last one of them.
But you're not a doctor.
I have old ones. One's got let's see here. He had his prostate removed, and now he's got heart problems, so he's got to get angioplasty and a whole bunch of stuff like that. I got another one who maybe is going to lose his foot. Then the youngest one is in a wheelchair.
What is youngest? What year is that?
42. I mean, it's like every one of them has a problem, and I'm thinking to myself, I keep talking about how my health, blah, 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 and then I thought about it, and I said, I'm better than any of these people.
You mean healthy?
Healthier.
Better.
I'm not better.
Okay.
And they're a wonderful group of people. Excuse me if I insulted you. But, so go right ahead. You can talk health. People are used to that on this show. People griping about their health and,
I'm not anymore. I'm amazed. I'm quite healthy now again. It was a really, really rough year. Nobody should go through anything like that. But it's just amazing how good I feel, and I'm back to, there's some residual things in terms of a couple of, even the medications have dropped way down the number. I saw a couple that I'll have to take for the rest of my life. But beyond that, I don't feel very much different than before this all happened to me, and I am so grateful, so grateful.
Yeah, you're a little scarred up from the operations and things like that.
But it's not on anywhere where anybody can see it.
Right.
I have a very strange-looking belly button these days. Well, they cut right down the middle, clear to the belly button. And,
yeah. So how's it strange? It's neither an innie or an outie?
It used to be just a nice, neat, round, innie belly button.
Yeah.
Now it's just a knot.
Well, talk about something you'll never need again.
Yes,
I never
exactly.
wondered why the navel just didn't heal up completely. I mean, we had no use for it once we were born.
But it was such a nice, neat one, and it just sat there, didn't do, like as you say, doesn't do anything, and it was nice and neat. Nothing you would notice about it. Now it's noticeably kind of off kilter.
It's like God said to himself, "Well, I'll feed the kid and everything nourishment through the belly button. Then when he is born, the umbilical cord will either fall off, or we learned how to cut it, and then he'll have a navel." And God never figured out a way to make the navel disappear. It was like it was like the inlet in a balloon.
Don't you think if you were at the beach and everybody was walking around with perfectly flat space there, nobody had a belly button, that wouldn't look a little weird?
Well, it wouldn't look weird because we'd accept it.
Okay.
Yeah, just me and my terminal logic. Hey, listen, we've run out of time here.
Okay.
I could go on with this for hours. I really could.
I'm not so sure the audience could stand it.
Oh, I think they can take it. They better take it. Fuck them if they don't like it. Anyway, that, ladies and gentlemen, is time well spent with my ex-wife, the inimitable Ronnie Bennett, who can be found at timegoesby.net, where she does some spiffy writing. Well, I remember that. I'm still trying to remember the name of the baby in the well. And the other day I had it like that.
And gone. That's part of
gone. Thank you, Ronnie.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNET, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Years ago, if you had told me that in my later years I would enjoy every 2 weeks talking to my ex-wife, I would have told you were nuts. But, it's true, and I enjoy it, and I hope you do too. Anyway, it's time. Hold on a second. Oh, my back. I have a backache, and it's not a kidney stone, because I had a kidney stone. And it doesn't go away, but this thing, I have to have a pillow in back of me, and I don't know, I yanked it or something, I did something to it, and it's not good, okay? But I'll survive it, and we'll go, I'll try and, it went away for several days, and then it came back, and you know why? I went and worked out today. This whole thing about working out is highly overrated. This is not a kidney stone pain. Kidney stone pain, if I were to just do this, and now when I sit in a certain way, it doesn't hurt. Back doesn't hurt. But the kidney pain never goes away. That just keeps going. No matter which way you sit, no matter which way you lie. And my biggest problem here is I'm having I'm doing physical therapy. By the way, the lines are open. Don't care. I'm talking about my health again. I'm doing the physical therapy, so they're giving me things to do, homework. He put it the best way he put it was it's like taking medicine every day. You have to take it so many times a day, and this will get rid of the numbness in your feet and will take care of that whole spine thing. But I don't know that they tell me to put a pillow in the back of me and things like that, and I just don't know if any of these things aren't causing my back pain. Oh, look who's here! There he is. There's Phil. What's your name again? Phil Meyer.
I'm ready for my diagnosis, Dr. Bennett.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I got this back pain. It's just, you ever get a bad back pain?
Oh, yeah, on a regular basis.
Yeah, and what happens is it went away for a couple of days. I didn't have any problem with it, and then all of a sudden today it started hitting me hard right after I worked out. So apparently being on that bike hunched over or whatever causes this thing. So I'm not going to work out for about 4 or 5 days.
Well, have you ever considered that maybe you're just a pain in the ass?
It could be. It could be. No, but I mean, it's not like the kidney stone, because if I were sitting here like this and it doesn't hurt now because I'm lying in a certain way, I would not have a problem. So oh, look who's calling. John Perulis is calling. Finally decided to call us after all this time. Hello, John. How are you?
Hey. Hi, everybody. Hi, Phil.
Hey,
Phil
John.
and I got together on Saturday all day. We spent from noon to midnight. 12 hours?
Well, my sympathies to you, John, and
had a great time. I got to say one thing. John's not only the real deal when it comes to video, but he's a gentleman, and it was a real pleasure to meet him.
I'm not the real deal when it comes to video?
You haven't seen... Yeah, I mean, you got some big competition.
How long have I been shooting video? Ever since
as long as video has been around.
Ever since you knew me.
Yeah,
and before that, I was shooting film.
Yeah. No, there's no disparaging your video expertise, Dr. Bennett.
You go back, if you ever have a chance, go back and look at Midnight Blue. Some of the stuff I did there was brilliant.
Well, I actually, you gave me some Midnight Blue. You recorded some VHS for me.
Yeah.
One was the scene where the gal did 100 guys. The spermathon.
Well, that wasn't the epitome of my art.
Well, and I think Susan was a commentator on that.
She was a commentator on that. Yeah. But that was not my. That was more documentary work. But there was stuff I did that was positively brilliant.
I got to give a shout out to Phil. I mean, he's also a gentleman, and. Thanks. An amazing. I mean, the guy just had a heart operation.
Do you want to just blow each other here right now? Hello, Scott. How are you?
Alex, you're not going to.
Wait a minute. I'm going to have a Dutch Masters cigar. Excuse me. Yes.
Yeah, Dutch Masters. He jumps up on the post that's like 20 feet off the ground, and it's only a 1 by 1 foot platform. And our Phil is standing on that, shooting down into the cage as fighters are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, man, this guy, he's built like a truck,
Yeah, well, what I would be praying is that Phil would fall in.
Almost.
Yeah. I got him into the cage. He was in there with all the blood all over the. Hey, Phil, my one of my computers was splattered with blood, and this mouse that I'm holding up right here, it still has blood on it.
Yeah, this is one of the shots.
Hi, Jeff. They're talking about what they did this weekend, and I think they're engaged. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of the shots. But
I
had a great time.
Yeah,
I had a great time. There's a lot of it was a lot of action. Everybody was very nice. It was very interesting subject to shoot, and I was very thankful to John that he invited me.
Yeah.
Hey, you got some great shots too. I'm telling you, just amazing shots. He showed me a few of them, but I had to work, so I'm like concentrated, like a race car driver from from noon to midnight. It's a long haul. Really beats you up.
Yeah, he has quite a setup. A couple of really hard-charging videographers up on posts with the cameras, commentators to deal with, a live feed going out, and he had it. He handled it like he's a real pro.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, are we finished with that now?
So,
hey, you know what we could do on the next one, Alex, is have Alex Bennett a Gabnet T-shirt, and that could go out live to all these tens of thousands of viewers who see these things on pay-per-view.
The Gabnet store has been closed for years.
Yeah, but anyway, so I'm sitting here with a backache, so I can't. If I move too much, it's really hurts hard. I think I pulled it again working out today is what I did. I was getting better. You know what I'm talking about, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like right up in here. It's not a kidney, because a kidney, if it doesn't hurt right now, kidney would still hurt.
Yeah. Okay, can I talk about back pain and something that really pisses me off? I mean, because that's what we do.
I think just
show,
back
right?
pain in itself pisses you off.
What pisses us off? Okay, so I'm looking on the internet. I have some lower back pain once in a while. And so there's this beautiful lady. She gets on Facebook and she says, "I'm going to show you a simple exercise you could do that will relieve your back pain." So I went for it. I clicked it, and then it takes you to one of those sites where she has about 100 slides. And you got to wade through each little thing before you get to the money. Come on, babe. Just give me your damn exercise to ease my back. So
they're all like that.
I hate those kind of things. They just drive me up the wall.
Yeah.
I think if I'm ever going to do that, I'm going to say, look, I'm not going to drag you through 100 slides before, I hook you on my product. Here it is right now. I'm giving it away because it's good for humanity.
Well, I had this back. Yeah. I had this back pain, and it went away. Haven't felt it in several days, and then today I went and worked out, and afterwards it suddenly hit me, And I think I've got to be careful about working out.
Is there a sauna or anything in this gym?
No.
No. So no steam bath. Sauna.
We're lucky there are showers there. It's $15.
It's New York City, man. You don't want to go in a public shower.
It's 15. It's 15.
No, the people that belong there pay $15 a month.
It's 15 bucks.
It's not open to the public.
It's $15 a month, and I didn't use it for years. And I finally started using it, and now I'm making up for all the lost time, But it's like it's $15 a month, so I go there, I get on the cycle, and I do a couple of their implements of torture. Then I leave, and I have a backache, But also, I'm doing all these stretching exercises and so on that my physical therapist told me to do, and that seems to maybe be exacerbating it. I don't know. I'm going to see him on Thursday, so we'll see what happens.
Ask him, what can the chiropractor do for you?
No, actually, this place has chiropractors.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we could send you the chiropractor. I said, do they take Medicare? I said, no. I said, okay, well, then forget that. And they said, well, you don't really need to. A chiropractor will do exactly what we're doing, except that we're asking you to
fix it.
No. The difference is, no, physical therapists go through a great deal of schooling. You realize that, don't you?
Do they do any manipulation on your back?
Oh, yeah. No, they do a lot of that stuff, but a lot of it also is dependent on me as well. And they said a chiropractor, you just lie there and the chiropractor does whatever they're going to do.
That's tough, huh?
Well, they said he
has his way with you.
We can take care of it, or we can have one of the chiropractors here do some stuff for you too, And I said, if we don't have to, then let's not. And they said it's not really important that we can handle it. So we'll see.
Handling it really well.
We'll see. So far, my feet are still numb, and the next thing, probably if this doesn't work, will probably be to go and have some kind of surgery on my spine to take care of that nerve, and then I'll be like Patrick.
Wait a minute. You'd rather have surgery than have some guy just crack your back and fix it. You would rather have surgery. It amazes me.
But necessarily cracking my back isn't going to solve the problem. Don't you understand? No. Well.
Yeah. Well, and if it did,
what?
Cracking your back. If it did solve the problem. If it did free up that vertebrae.
I will try that. If this physical therapy doesn't work, I'll go hit a chiropractor up and see what the story is.
Don't hit him too hard.
But I got a call from my neurologist today. Hi, Patrick. I got a call from my neurologist's office today. It seems that the date that I have set in September to see him, he can't make it because he's going to be out that day. Can we move it to another day? And I'm thinking, like, sure, let's move it to another day. And while we're doing that, I'll send you a bill for changing the day, because I require a 3-month notification beforehand.
You have that in writing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
All right.
So, Anyway, so I changed my thing to a Friday, So, I'm going to have a harder time going to work out just simply because twice a week I'm going to the physical therapist now, and then I've got like interviews to do here, and before you know it, I got no time to go to the gym. So I'm thinking of just not going to the gym for about a week.
When you go to the physical therapy, they're not giving you a workout?
Well, you didn't join us early enough, Patrick, but my back is killing me. I pulled something in my back.
I'm just making the face for the excuse for not going to the gym.
What, because my back's killing me and I don't want to exacerbate it?
No, you said between the...
well, also...
and interview. Believe me, you'd be able to find 45 minutes out of your day to...
Oh, yeah. But, as I sat there pedaling to nowhere today for another 25 minutes, I began to wonder, why the fuck am I doing this? And then when I left, after doing a couple of different things, my back started to really bother me. It got really bad. And I went, is something I'm doing wrong here?
Haven't you ever heard of the saying at the gym, no pain, no gain?
Yeah, but this isn't the kind of pain they're talking about. They're talking about a burn, for instance. You know.
Well, you feel the burn. You hear all those weightlifters talking about feel the burn.
No, but I feel like today I was doing my legs on a machine, and about the last 10 reps, I started to burn, and I pushed through it.
That's the way it works.
Yeah, that's the way it works. In other words, they want you to...
It's called lactic acid, and that's what you develop when you exercise the muscle.
Yeah,
and that lactic acid feels like a burn. Even Scott agrees with me.
That's why my penis used to hurt all the time.
Yeah,
is that why my penis used to hurt all the time?
Getting lactic acid,
buildup of lactic acid.
If it's out of shape
in my penis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, listen, guys, I got a real problem. I don't know. All of you have Skype.
Yeah.
And I'm sure those of you who haven't upgraded your Skype at all have gotten a notice saying, we were going to discontinue this version of Skype in the near future. Well, that near future is September 1st, I found out.
Wow. I didn't get a notice.
I didn't either.
It'll be on your...
I'm on a Mac.
It'll be on your machine. After September 1st, supposedly the current version that you're using and the one that I use here is not going to work. So I downloaded the new version, and I somehow on my PC it loads side by side with the old version. So I'm using the old version right now, but I put in the new version, and then I tried to run it in OBS, which is the switcher I use to do all the magic that we do here on this show for the video. And there is a thing that when you I put in the panel, I go to something and they say, well, what do you want in that screen? And I put in, it says Skype, and I put in Skype because it says, what window do you want? And I say Skype. And in the new system, nothing happens. Zilch.
Wow.
Huh. Weird.
So I went over and I installed it on my Mac, and when I do it there, I get a picture. Okay, so that far I'm okay.
The
But-
end of being PC
Huh?
on this show. The end of being PC on this show.
Yeah, well, no, I got on the OBS forum and I asked what's the story with this, and somebody said it's just that it's a different system. And I said, well, it works on the Mac, but it doesn't work on the PC. So then I went looking around. One of the things I went looking for is there something else besides Skype? Forget it. There's nothing else that would do exactly what we want it to do, right? Make it as easy for you guys to call and be free and all of that. All right. So then I decided maybe I just got to get away from OBS, and I went and I had this thing installed on my machine that I had never checked out called XSplit.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. And so it said for a year, it's $59.95. Do you want to buy it for a year? And I said sure. And then it went, it automatically will renew, and I shut off their automatic renewal thing so that when the year comes, they come and ask me rather than just take my money if I don't like it. But I put in the XSplit, and actually it works pretty well. For the most part, it works okay. It works well enough. However, it doesn't do it either. But I asked them before I bought it, are you going to be able to do it? And they say we're working on it right now to get a thing going so that you can run Skype, the new Skype, within our system. So I said I'll take that on its faith and hope you come up with it. And so September 1st, we're either going to have a shitty looking show anyway, because this new Skype just sucks. It's bloated and it's ugly and it doesn't. You have it right, Patrick. You use it. It just isn't as simple and simplified as the current Skype.
No, it worked very well if there's just 4 people and you, because right now I've got the 4 quadrants and me up in the right corner and you're right next to me in a little circle.
Yeah.
And I can see everything. And then, like I told you, there's one more circle that can come after where I can see the person. Yeah. And after that, it's just a number.
Yeah, but then if you want me to go down into the bottom screen, you just drag it down. Is that what it is? And one of the other people pops up to the top?
Right.
Yeah. That's going to be great.
Number circle. You can't. Then you have to play almost like round robin to try to figure out who you want where. So.
Yeah.
John's got his hand up.
Yeah. Hold on a second, John. I just want to know where Skype got the idea that this was a good thing to do. That in any way this made any kind of decent sense. Except
it's geek syndrome.
Well, the trouble is the designers don't say, hey, why don't we go to the people who use it and ask them what they need? Give me an option. Give me an option of using the dark mode or the light mode. Give me an option of going Skype Classic or Skype New.
Didn't they?
No.
I thought last time they tried this thing with the circles, they had that option.
Well, they didn't do away with the old Skype. But here, they're going to just kill it. Supposedly, September 1st, if I try to use this, it won't come up. Okay? Or I'll get a notification saying this Skype has been discontinued. And they've discontinued other versions of Skype, and I just, it just really bothers me because, this is the show that I do, and this is the way in which I do this show, and I like the way it looks. It's taken me a long time to get it looking this good, I don't do it on the Mac because the Mac has some kind of weird way of putting the Skype windows in there, and I don't like that. So anyway, it's, so after September 1st, we may not have a show anymore. We may go back to just audio only. You know,
Alex.
Yeah.
Have you tried Google Groups? I did a
sucks. Sucks.
He's been an anti-Google.
Yes,
No, it's not that I'm anti-Google. I use YouTube. This show goes out over YouTube.
No. What I meant was Google Groups.
If I could use Google Groups, I would. But the fact is that Google Groups, I have to invite all of you people.
Actually, we tried that once on a Saturday. You had a little experiment.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so good.
It wasn't so good, and the sound was terrible.
Yeah.
The sound was horrible. I hear they've improved the sound. But, I mean, Google Groups isn't like I say, okay, go over to Google Groups. I'm Gabnet, and you go to Gabnet, and then you call in. No, it's not that easy. You know, and it's not as simple as this is. Okay? And so therefore it doesn't serve me right. I mean, I would love to use Google Groups. I would love it because it would probably work better with YouTube because it's a Google product, you know. And I would love to use it as the way in which we do this, but I just, as I say, you and I tried it. In fact, I'm going to call upon you, Phil, and maybe a couple other people later, maybe next weekend or next Monday, to do something with me so I can just test some stuff out here.
Sure.
Actually, I like the way, in fact, that the XSplit renders this program and the group better. However, there are certain things I don't want to take a chance on it yet, you know, because I haven't fully learned how to use it.
So you'll spend $60 on XSplit, but you won't go to the chiropractor because it's not covered by insurance. And he's probably $65.
Yeah, but for one visit. This is for a whole year. Okay?
Oh. But you might only need one visit.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, even if we do get it working, you know, that's my biggest need. Once we're there, we're gonna have to deal with this whole new way of dealing with the people talking. You know, if let's say Patrick was a circle, and all of a sudden he started talking, and all of a sudden he came into the frame because he was talking.
Yeah.
Then that would make it actually better than this. Okay, but the fact that I have to move him down. And then when there are like 5 people, it says 5. And how do you know who's in that 5 circle, Patrick?
Patrick said that the names are listed.
No, it's just a number.
Oh.
And what you got to do is, like I said, there will be 3 circles at the top, 2 of which show a photo, 1 is just a number. So what you do then is you take one of the circles with the photo and you move that person down into the square, and you keep doing that, and then the people in the numbered circle, they move over. It round robin is what it is. And then, you know, like for me, I don't screw around with it because I know just about everybody's voices, and so I don't need to see, you know, if somebody's in the circle with the number, it's not a big, you know, unless, like I said last week, somebody's showing something and Alex is saying, everybody look at this. Well, let's say it was Renee, then I got to sit for a couple of minutes while you guys are looking at it, and I got to drag everybody around until I can get to Renee.
Oh, so I've got to do this on the air while people...
Right. And for me, it's less of a hassle because I'm not showing everybody. You're not seeing it, but you would have to do what I'm describing on the air. So, you know, yeah, it's a big pain in the ass.
See,
I just checked out alternatives to Skype and this thing called Viber.
Yes, I checked that out. That sucks too.
Oh, it does. What about WhatsApp?
You don't want to even touch that.
And Uvu?
Yeah, I checked that out. They want money.
In WeChat.
WeChat, I have no idea about WeChat. I didn't look at that. Don't worry, I've checked all of them. I've checked all of them, and they either pay, or when you sign up, it like kind of wants information that's kind of hinky, you know. and I want some safe place. I mean, a Google Groups would be the solution if it worked. If they had it in a way that it made it easy for you guys to call. You know, you just go to my GabNet Google group, and you jump in or ask to be jumped in. But I have to literally reach out to you, I think, with Google Groups, and I create the group. Yeah.
Because I think that something gets posted that says there's going to be a Google something or other, and you get on. I don't think it's that hard.
Well, you know, why don't you check it out? Why don't you figure it out for me, Phil? I'm getting.
Hey, Phil, call me on Google Group, and we could.
Okay.
You could play with it, and then
I can't figure out how to get the mute off my board, let alone.
Yeah, right. He's got little problems like that, you know. But it just, you know, it irritates the hell out of me, and I do love this XSplit. There are a few problems with it, but as a product, it's pretty solid. It allowed me to mask the screen with the Skype beautifully, and then to play stuff in other parts of the screen. It's very nice. Looks great. There are a couple of switching problems that I don't like, and starting the broadcast it takes a little bit of doing because you have to go to a drop down to do it. So
if you use that, you're not going to. Jack wouldn't do video, so he doesn't really have to worry about it.
No, Jack doesn't have to worry about it. Yes, Scott.
Okay, now this is going to sound weird, but I'm just going to try to explain it as best I can. Because when I look at your on the webs or on Safari, when I look at your group panel and everything like that, there's a picture that pops up on the screen that shows what's actively going on in Skype. Okay, and
you have the new Skype.
No, I got the new Skype with the circles like Patrick. But when somebody else talks, the little picture goes to the active person. Like if Patrick would say something,
I have that
show up.
I have that with the old Skype, where right now I have a picture at the bottom of the screen with you in it because you're talking. Now, if I do this on the Mac, I can capture that little screen, and I did do it when we used to do it from the Mac, to where when somebody was talking, all of a sudden they would be seen, and I like that feature. That's why doing it on the Mac, it'll still, I think, go for the screen capture.
It brings up whoever's talking onto the little screen, and then as long as I can go back to.
Now you're using the new Skype.
Yes, as best I know.
Well, wait a minute. What's the version number on it?
It's one with circles. I don't know. It's.
If it's 8, you're fine. That's the new one. If
I
not,
got 8. I'm on a Mac. 825.
Oh, you're on a Mac.
I'm on a Mac.
Okay, yeah.
I'm on a Mac.
Yeah.
I'm still running 7.59
on the Mac.
Yeah.
I'm on 825. Oh,
there's an update. I haven't done it.
Yeah, I'm on the latest version of Skype.
Wait a minute.
for the Mac.
I'll tell you what my Skype is. Although I got to start it up here. I have the newest. I have the newest version. I have the on this machine on the Mac. I have the new Skype, or as I like to think of it, the new Coke of communications devices. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Does it come with a plastic straw?
Huh?
Well, they're talking about plastic straws and how the city of San Francisco has outlawed them now, and I think Seattle has outlawed them. And
I think we're going back to paper.
Okay. Yours is 8.25, is it?
8.25,
That's
0.5.
Yep, that's it. So you got the new one. So that's how you get people, I guess, on Skype. Yeah, if that screen capture works, I like this. The basic Skype capture does work on the Mac when I use OBS. I also have a thing that's screen capture. If that thing will work, then that's great, because then I can just sit there and let everybody pop up when they're talking.
Yeah.
And that will be fine, you know.
That might, I don't know.
What
how
happens?
Many, Alex? How many? How many people on that? Because you said it might go down to 4. You said
no, that's not it.
That's on the screen at a time. Actually, the new Skype will handle 25 people at a time.
Oh, okay.
What happens if 2 people are yelling at each other? Does both pictures come up, or
I would say whoever is saying the most predominant thing at the moment. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean it happens here. I'm getting it here only in this version of in OBS on the Mac. Okay, OBS on the Mac on the PC. It doesn't say screen capture. I can't get the screen capture thing. The you know, the little picture that comes up with like you in it right now because you're talking. And if Jeff starts talking, all of a sudden it becomes Jeff. And if it's Patrick, you know. So
I have a MacBook Pro, so I have to go to those Geniuses. I hate that. It's in the mall, and I hate going there, and you have to make an appointment. But I'm going to get them to hook it up so at least I can use Skype on that thing. Because I'm always PC, I'm not MacBook, so.
Well, Mac, it's simple. It's simple. You don't have to go
just
down
download
to
the program.
Stinking geniuses.
You know,
download the program and sign in.
You know, I like Big Bang Theory because they always used to say, hey, what shall we do tonight? Why don't we go down and make fun of the geniuses at the Genius Bar? You know. The thing I always hated about the Genius Bar, folks, was that, you know, Einstein was a genius. And how dare you deign to just minimize what a genius is by saying that some nerd with your T-shirt standing behind a counter is a genius.
Does that mean at Best Buy when you get the Geek Squad, that's, you know, they're not geniuses?
You better make sure they got a pair of glasses with tape.
And a pocket protector.
And a pocket.
But you gotta get Trump. He's a smart genius, isn't he?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, they make
as opposed to a dumb genius. That dumb.
This whole thing with the fucking Genius Bar, I hate that. You know,
they don't serve anything.
Stable genius.
And it's not a bar. It's not a bar. You're not when you're sitting there waiting for them because you've made an appointment at 3:30, and now it's coming on 3:45, and you've yet to be served. It'd be nice if they gave you a martini. You know,
juice would be
or
okay.
juice. It's a juice bar, coffee bar.
John wants a joint.
You know, I mean, what the fuck? You know, I mean, but so anyway, it's my problem. You know, I mean, the Skype is such assholes. You know, they don't ask the public, what do you need? You know, here's the difference. If I had a PC here, and I had Windows XP in it, it would still work. It would still work. Okay, it wouldn't. Some programs I couldn't run on it, things like that, because it isn't the newest, finest format. But it would still work. All right.
They don't support it. No, they'll tell you. You know, if you
I understand that. I understand that, but it will still work.
Yeah.
I could have a Mac here that has Windows XP in it, and I could turn it on, and it would work. It's just it wouldn't have all the features of the newest Windows. Okay. On the other hand, I can go back. Mac often obsoletes older machines, but I still
Not too
have.
often.
I still have
7, 8, 10 years.
my current Mac Pro that I have here, the old Pro version. This Mac, they are not going to allow to use the new operating system. However, the mini Macs that I have will use the operating system, but it will still be able to work. Okay, and I have a Mac in the other room that's even older than that won't upgrade beyond Snow Leopard, But the fact is, I turn it on and I can use it. So what is so wrong with Skype saying, well, after this time, we're not going to be updating it. We're not going to be changing it. We're not going to be doing anything to it. But you can use it if you want to.
Is that a Microsoft kind of mentality?
Yes. I was just going to say that. It's an arrogant company. BitTorrent, everybody uses BitTorrent. I mean, even Netflix uses BitTorrent software. I was on a beta testing program for BitTorrent. They were giving out this free software to video broadcasters, online video broadcasters, to test out. And they ended up not using the product, but they solicited our feedback and that sort of thing. But you never see Microsoft do that with the broadcast professionals like you and I.
You ever try to get a hold?
Never.
You ever try to get a hold of Skype?
Yeah, right.
There's no way to get a hold of Skype.
Well, you got to drive to Seattle and take your clothes off and pound on their door or something.
Yeah, but you're assuming you can find out their address.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's like I've never seen a company in my life, and a lot of these companies are getting this way, where you have no access to them.
Yeah, that's right.
Look what that gal had to do at Burlingame to YouTube.
Right.
She had to go for lunch with a gun.
Yeah. I don't think there's any way I can. There isn't a phone number, customer support number for YouTube.
I'm sure they have one. They just don't give it to us.
What did you say, Charlene, who's back with us, but we don't have a picture on you?
She's gone on the phone.
You know what's going on? I said I hate that when they don't have a number for customers. My son has got a studio like Rob Alfano now. It's got like the screen in front of the mic. What's that called? Spit screen or? And now what do I do with him pulling all my bandwidth? I went in there and started yelling at him, and he said, "I'm not talking about Wi-Fi. I said, "I'm not talking about Wi-Fi either." I said, "You're using all my bandwidth. So can I get like another router or something?"
Well, it depends upon how much bandwidth you're getting to begin with. If you had what I have, which is almost a meg up and a meg down,
Charlene,
I can have 20 people here watching Netflix and it won't stall.
I know how to stop your son from using all your bandwidth. Tell him to get a job.
Oh boy, he's telling me he's working on the computer that he works.
Yeah. You work your foot up his ass.
I know. They had this kid on CNN. Everybody was telling me that I know. That's your son. 5 years the parents tried to get the kid out. Did anybody see that?
Yep.
5 years. And finally the judge said that he had to go.
Is that the 30-year-old kid?
Yeah.
That was the 30-year-old kid that they tried to evict out of their house.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And the judge finally, after 5 years, the judge said the kid has to go, and he had to go. Mm-hmm. And then I think they said he tried to sue Best Buy because they tried to make him work overtime, and it was wasting his time or something, he said. Or the kid was horrible. But they sent him money on PayPal or GoFriendMe or something, or GoFundMe. They started a page for him. People have felt sorry for him.
Is he changing his name to Ted Kaczynski?
Right, the Unabomber, yeah. What a mess. I don't know what to do with this kid, but, I mean, I'm a little techie in a way. I mean, not that, but I try to keep up with everything, and with him here, it's terribly slim-slamming me now that he's telling me I'm talking about Wi-Fi.
Turn the internet off.
Wi-Fi.
Turn the internet off for 30 days.
Yeah.
Pay the bill.
And then I can't use it myself, right?
Just use the phone for a little while.
Well,
I'm sure you don't know how to do it, but you could actually block his IP.
Oh yeah, you could have a sign in that he doesn't know.
Right.
So he can't get on. Yeah, that's right. When I used to try to steal my neighbor's internet.
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what she's going to have to live with if she does that?
Well, it's internet withdrawal syndrome.
In this day and age, her son will A, never talk to her again, or B, kill her.
Postal.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, he'll kill me. You're right.
No, just tell him you don't know why he can't get on. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
What were you going
How
to
do
say,
do that
Jeff?
to me?
Jeff, what were you trying to say?
I said, do you have any guns in your house?
Yeah.
Lock them up.
No, we don't believe in that. Oh God, like wasn't there like some shooting in Canada now or something? Like
Nah, they don't have any guns.
Oh, that
in
was a couple of days ago.
Ah.
Yeah. Still,
Well, I looked at him
their
today.
shootings per
I looked
capita
at him
are
today.
lower than ours. So you know.
They'll catch up. They're resourceful people.
Phil, no offense, I know, but I mean, he doesn't look good,
Wait a minute.
Trump.
Who's
Does not-
what, somebody just called. Who is this?
Oh.
Hey, Alex, long time. Haven't spoken with you. I hope it's not too noisy. I'm on a kind of a busy street. This is Steve.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. There's been a lot of things happening. I've been laying low. I've been through a lot in this past year. I can't believe how many people are gone. That died. Last year was a bad year. I can't believe it. I moved back to New Jersey, as you know.
Yeah.
And, I figured, well, it's really good. And I'm happy to be home. I love it. I love being home. But, my friends, it was almost like I was on a tour of duty. That's like I was in Vietnam or I was somewhere, with those 5.5 years, whatever, in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, I'm glad I had them because I had time to...
Yeah, well, wait. Hold on a second, Steve. We do have a group of people here.
Yeah, go ahead.
They don't know who the fuck you are. And, and it's like you're just talking to me like you called me up on the phone, and everybody else is being left out of this.
Yeah. No, so most of the people, I think, remember.
Yeah, he's just trying to explain his absence.
His absence is about 3 years, okay? So, most of the people here... How many here remember Steve?
I remember him.
I do.
You really? You all do?
Steve?
I'm a very memorable. No, I know Phil does because I called Jack the other night. I had a good time on a Friday night on Jack's
At least
show.
he'll call, Alex.
Now,
He's not scared
Steve,
to call.
you had a lot of maladies, right? A lot of health issues.
Yeah, well, nothing really serious, but I still have an inflamed leg. And, I had the surgery.
So does Alex.
Yeah. I heard, yeah. No, I had
He cares.
A multiple compound fracture in my leg. I'm going to get off this busier road, so it'll be fine. I'm trying to talk right into the phone. So, that I'm still recovering. I mean, at least it's not infected. I almost lost my leg,
You're not driving, Steve, are you?
No, I can't. No, I'm not. My vision, I'm not. It's like 20 over 300. I've got 25-30% eyesight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I might remember you. I might remember him.
Something? Doing this show as a veteran hypochondriac, doing this show makes me feel a lot better, because, I mean,
Steve, your microphone's got a lot of wind noise.
I'm trying to block it. I feel like I'm doing it.
It's not working.
Yeah, whatever you're doing is not working. But anyway, so anyway, you were saying a bunch of people died last year?
Yeah, now, I think Jack said that you knew that, Randy, your producer from ABC, Randy died.
Yes, of course I knew he died.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see, because I wasn't listening for a long time either. I just kind of took a break for a while.
Yeah,
I kind of
who else died? Who else died?
Myself.
Who else died that I wouldn't know?
Yeah, I knew I'd get back. Yeah, Randy died. My sister died last year.
I didn't know your sister, okay?
I didn't know her either.
No, so you didn't
Steve.
know her. Yeah, no, I didn't mention my sister really, but she died. She was only 61. She had a heart problem, and that's one of the reasons I'm glad I spent the time that I did out in New Mexico, because I knew she wasn't going to live. She knew she wasn't going to live, but we figured she'd live another 5, 6, 7 years. And when my brother called and said, that that she died, it took me 2 days before I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't even believe that it happened. I couldn't believe it. I had an identical twin brother. In August, it's going to be 19 years. It was a suicide. Identical twin. My mother died 8 years ago. My father died 41 years ago. I was only 11 years old. All that's left now are my brother and I, and his wife wants a divorce. You know, it's crazy.
Excuse me, I'm going to go get a gun and shoot myself, okay?
I was thinking the same thing.
Really, I mean, you know, my brother and I are the ones who
You're depressing the shit out of me, Steve.
Well, I'll stop in a I'll stop in a second.
Wait, don't stop until he puts the gun in his mouth.
Yeah, right. No, it's just I'll just finish all that nonsense with just saying that it's funny that my brother, obviously who's still alive, and I are the ones that over the years have had all the health problems, and we're the ones who are still here.
Okay, we've been joined we're being joined by Bree from Dubai, or maybe he's still in the Philippines.
Oh, I remember Bree. Yeah.
Where are you? Where are you tonight, Bree?
I am. I don't know if you can see the sign right there.
No, wait a minute. We're not getting any. We're not getting any video.
You know, Bree talked about the cat club the other night, like, well, a few nights ago. I used to go to the cat club in Manhattan, right?
The cat?
Oh, yeah, I loved it. China Club.
Yeah. Do you know
cat club? What was the place? The CBG.
Oh, there we go. Now we can see where you are. Turn your camera sideways, would you? Let's see if we can get a wide picture. There we go. That's no. Look, it just did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look. What is the sign? Gramercy Trump Tower.
I knew you'd like that, Alex.
Yeah. They have a Trump Tower in the Philippines.
Yeah. I don't have my headset. I forgot to bring it out. I only have a Bluetooth thing, and I don't think Bluetooth connects to the Skype.
Yes, we can. So, can you hear? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Maybe it does.
I
can hear you.
And we can hear you.
I've got to get inside and get to a Wi-Fi and sit down and get a coffee. Well, I mean, I don't drink coffee, so tea. But it's just the expression, right?
So, what city is this?
It's Manila.
Well, I'm Makati, but
it's where my girlfriend's from.
Right, but actually, I'm on the northern end, and I can't even pronounce the place, but it's near Makati.
And we're just seeing the side of his mouth. That's.
We have you in a very big close-up. I mean, you're.
Sorry.
There you go. See. Well, there we go. Oh, now, there we go. He's showing us the street. Oh,
sorry, I thought you turned the video around, but I'm on this dumpy old Russian phone, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to figure out where to go. So.
Yeah. Yes, Patrick. Patrick.
I blame it on Putin.
Wait. Okay. Hold on a second. Let Patrick talk because he gets muffled.
2 or 3 minutes there. So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. If you could go indoors, Bree, it would be really good because that would. What you're doing is because of the noise outside, you're muffling other people when they talk.
Yeah, even your signal, Alex, is getting muffled.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So,
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I can mute my microphone if you need.
Okay, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let me do the same thing. Yeah, I forgot.
Yes,
is that a coffee
Steve,
bar?
Please mute Steve.
Right there.
What?
Is that the version of Starbucks in the Philippines?
I don't know. But
no, there was like a Sabaret or something.
What are you saying, Bree?
He muted because of the.
Well, yeah, but he can hear us.
I don't know.
He's still on mute.
He's still on mute. There we go.
What was the lady's name that I always liked? That was also lived in Renee. Does Renee still call?
Yeah, she calls
occasionally.
Oh yeah, I always like to talk.
Upon occasion, we haven't heard from her in a couple of weeks. And is she doing the chat room? No. We haven't heard from her in a couple of weeks. I don't know. When I don't hear from her for a couple of weeks, I worry about her. I worry about anybody if I don't hear from them for a couple of weeks.
Except me.
Except you. Yeah.
That's okay. I'll worry about you now.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I worry about you. I want you to get that heart thing done before the heart does you.
August 16th. Matter of fact, when I was doing the photography thing with John, like he said, I climbed up this 20-foot ladder, and I'm photographing over the ring on this 1-foot square platform. And I said to myself, God, I hope I don't have a heart attack and fall into the ring. That would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah. Just make out your will and leave me something, okay? Just
Hey, Alex, is my video working?
Yeah, your video's working fine, Bree.
Yeah.
It's a great picture, actually.
Is that a clothing store? And let's see what else you got
store.
So is that a mall?
It looks like it. It looks like some store.
Oh, Pandora's phony jewelry.
Yeah. Jewelry.
Jewelry.
Let's see here. What else do we see? For those of you listening to us on the audio only version, well, don't you wish
Can you hear
could
me
look
now?
at the video? Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So yesterday I go to this place called the Filling Station, and it's like all 1950s USA. And I ordered blueberry pancakes. They're the worst. They were cold, flat, syrupy blueberries. Couldn't eat them at all.
Yeah.
Way overpriced.
Starbucks.
For here they're like $8. So I asked the concierge today. I said, I need real pancakes. They said there's an IHOP in here, so I'm looking for the IHOP.
Okay, but let me tell you this. Showing this picture, if you told me you were in Cleveland, we'd believe you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing there that says.
I'm inside and like down below, so I shouldn't be getting a signal at all.
There's
but
nothing.
I am.
There's nothing there that says Philippines to me. What
is that hollow in the cabinet?
Hey.
Yeah, that's a Philippine.
No, those are. What are these? These are truffles. Praline. They're different kinds. You have amaretto. Is that a truffle? Praline? Looks like a truffle.
Hey, you should tell this girl she's on international television.
Oh yeah, big deal.
Yeah. It'll scare her.
All 50 people that are watching it.
I really wish I had brought my my headsets. Because I'd be able to talk to you better.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to watch out, man. They just arrested a Uber guy who was videotaping everything in his car and live streaming it.
Yeah, but they're still trying to figure out if there was anything illegal about him doing it.
It has to do with whatever state you're in, whether you need permission from both or just one.
Yeah, well, you mean state of mind?
Most states. Most states.
50 states.
If I record you,
is that in the Philippines?
If I record you, I don't have to tell you that I'm recording you, and all I have to do is give my permission for me, because it only takes one party.
Right. But I think in Wisconsin, where Patrick's from, I don't know if it takes two parties there, if you have to announce it to both.
You think I could hook up my Bluetooth?
Yeah, sure. We can hear you. Yeah, sure. You should.
Had trouble getting Bluetooth to work with when I have Skype.
Well, that could be the problem.
You got to get a Russian Bluetooth for that phone.
Yeah.
I should have brought my headset. I don't know what the heck I was thinking.
By the way, did you hear, of course, that Ivanka Trump is ending her fashion line?
Yes, I did, because she wants to concentrate on doing the job in the White House.
Yeah,
I think that's very
she's
noble.
an advisor.
Yeah,
she's an advisor.
To begin with, it could be that most of the people who were carrying her products have canceled.
That's why she's getting out of it, because she ain't making any money doing it.
Yeah, all the stores that were carrying her stuff, most of the big ones, like Nordstrom's and so on, have said they're not going to carry her line anymore.
I think.
That's wrong. I think that's wrong.
What do you mean that's wrong?
That's discrimination.
If her stuff doesn't sell, it's not wrong. and that's been the problem.
It's not. It's not selling
the
because
problem is
people are discriminating against her because they disagree with her father.
Capitalism, baby.
That's capitalism, motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, it seems as though. By the way, turn your camera sideways again, Bree. I have to remind people to do this because portrait mode drives me crazy.
Sorry, I'm trying to get Bluetooth working, Alex.
That's funny because I use portrait mode all the time. I do like widescreen, but the thing I like about with portrait mode is it's more the shape of a phone, like if you would hold it. The earpiece.
Yes, but it doesn't. But it doesn't look like a good picture. Okay,
no,
it doesn't look like the way you see naturally.
I once had a blind guy come into the store.
If I get the Bluetooth working, I will show you the Philippines.
Yeah, why are you sideways though?
He's laying down.
He's moving his phone around.
Who was it? Somebody recently made a comment somewhere and said that people should be killed for using portrait mode.
I probably said that.
Bennett.
What?
That was Alex Bennett.
Yeah. I mean, I think that when they make iPhones, you should not be able to get it out of widescreen.
Yes.
It's frozen now. I don't know if you can hear me or see me.
I can see you.
I see you.
We can see you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like those curtains on the side.
Completely screwed up.
We're getting.
I hate it. Especially when there's a police action and someone is using the portrait mode on their damn phone and they're missing all this important action on the left and the right.
I got to tell you,
but you get the curtains. The curtains are pretty.
Even in a panoramic mode, there's always something could be taking place outside the periphery of the picture.
Exactly.
So that the scene that's being shot is prejudiced by the camera person. Okay.
Right.
But if you've got portrait mode, then you forget it. You're not going to see anything.
You can't see why the cop beat the hell out of the black guy.
Right.
Yeah, when I'm watching, if I'm watching a video on my phone, I'll put it in wide. But a lot of times, especially with YouTube, I listen to a lot of music on YouTube, and you don't have to. I should really use YouTube Red, but then I'll leave it in portrait because I really don't have to look at it.
See, when these portrait guys die and go to hell, their punishment is going to be having to watch all these beautiful films in portrait mode.
Yeah. I want them to go to the next, Avengers film or the next Marvel movie and have them show it to them in portrait mode and see how long they like that.
When TVs started to use what is it called, letterbox? It took me a while to get used to it because then you couldn't see anything above and below. All you saw was a wide. It was years ago when TVs, were regular and square.
I think Bree is now frozen. Yeah.
It took me, Phil. It took me a while to get used to it. Also, wasn't sure if I liked it at first, but then once I understood,
letterboxing. I'll tell you what bothered me in the beginning.
This is back in the 80s,
beginning when they first in the 50s and end of the 50s when they started buying up films that had been made during that period of time.
Oh, they cut them.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. They would show them a CinemaScope picture, letterboxed with the top and the bottom missing. And everybody thought, there was something wrong with their TV set. I mean, this is the only way they could do it. Today, there's no problem.
Can't hear anything.
Alex, Steve's wind is overtaking your...
let me mute it again. Mute it again.
The movies were letterboxed.
They were letterboxed, and then everybody thought there was something wrong with their TV set because it was the only way they could do it with the sets in those days because you had no widescreen sets. And so all of a sudden the movie companies decided they would do pan and scan. Now that drove me fucking crazy
What's Pan and Scan?
I didn't like, believe it or not.
I hated Pan and Scan. That drove me nuts.
Well,
too. I thought that was so horrible.
Yeah, I hated.
It was shrunk.
Bertolucci, not Bertolucci, Sergio Leone films. I hated them because I didn't like the way they looked. I didn't like the way it was an Italian Western and blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, they released, what was it? Which one? Once Upon a Time in the West. And they released it where the first scene in that picture, the first 10 minutes or so, it's the lead up to the picture, is widescreen. And all of a sudden I got to see Leone's framing and the way he shot, and I was just in awe of it. And then all of a sudden when it gets to the main part of the movie, it goes Pan and Scan. And I didn't watch the movie beyond that point. When they finally started releasing Leone films in widescreen, I found out what a great director he was. But when they were panning and scanning his films, they looked terrible. But Leone had a way of framing a picture, where there are two guys on either end of the screen ready to shoot each other.
Is that Sergio Leone?
Where in a pan and scan version, they were going back and forth between the two.
Yeah, one of the movies.
What were you saying, Charlene?
Was that Sergio Leone?
Yeah, Sergio Leone. Yeah. And Patrick has his hand.
Not spaghetti western, though, right?
Spaghetti westerns. Yeah, that's what they call them.
Oh, he is a spaghetti western.
Yeah,
okay.
Except for Once Upon.
Yeah, they were made in Italy. Yeah.
Except for Once Upon a Time. Except for Once Upon a Time in America, which wasn't a western, which is, I think, is the greatest film he ever made and the last one he ever made. Yes, Patrick.
My folks are still stuck in the hate widescreen version. And if they can
Wait, what?
Back.
Hold on a second. It's not Patrick. Somebody else is doing something. Yes, Patrick.
Anyway, where some of their Blu-rays and that, they still have the option where you can change the screen size. My folks, they'll get rid of it so that it'll be almost like the damn TV that we used to watch, where it wasn't one screen. You miss half the shit. And I've explained to them that you're not missing anything. And it's just the way that they think. So
yeah,
I know very few people like that, but I'm lucky to have the parents that if they come over here to watch a movie, I gotta switch it to some goofy ass way and miss half the damn thing.
Yeah.
They'll be able to say, well, now it's filling the screen. Yeah, but you're missing.
Yeah, but the only thing that's worse than pan and scan, for my money, is portrait mode. Okay, so anyway, you're whirling around now, Bree. Yeah, the picture. You'll probably pop in any minute. This is what you get with a Russian phone, for crying out loud. By the way, anybody,
Soviet surplus.
Anybody see the latest Soviet spy? This woman, the redhead.
Yeah.
She was not as hot as that other one a few years back. I'm trying to remember her name now. They knew it. Remember that one?
Not anymore.
She was hot.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where are we getting all that honking from? I guess it's from Manila.
From Trump Tower.
Huh?
Are you in Trump Tower, Bree? Or
yes, I am. Yes.
Was that where you?
For shame.
Was that where you?
Alex, you wanted to see? Did let me know if the camera switches off me.
Yeah.
And goes outside. You said you wanted to see the real Philippines, real Manila. There. Yeah. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now I will walk to the real place. It's like you were saying that you thought there was nothing that made it look like I was in the Philippines.
Right now, it still looks like Cleveland.
Looks like New York City.
Yeah.
Because I'm leaving Trump Tower now.
Yeah.
Okay, you see the gates, you see the.
Oh, by the way,
guards,
turn your
you see
camera.
the-
Would you do me a favor, Bree? Before you leave, turn your camera around and just show us Trump Tower from a distance. That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did he?
Is he staying there? He's staying there or just visiting?
No.
He's in New Jersey.
He's in New Jersey. And it might not. He may not have even built that place. He may have just paid. The people may have paid to put his name on there.
But they like his name in the Philippines.
Okay. Do they really?
Yeah. Duarte likes him. They all like him there.
Duterte.
Yeah. Well, if I mispronounce his name, he'll kill me.
Yeah. Now we're getting into what will look like real Manila.
Oh yeah. Or San Francisco.
Oh, okay. All right. There we go. There we go. Now, were they...
Okay, Alex?
Were they...
Now, Alex, I have to be careful here. Alex, you sure I can't go portrait? Holding it landscape is kind of putting me in a little bit of danger.
Well, then go portrait, damn it. I don't want you killed.
Okay. All right. I need to hold it like a regular phone or people get nervous and they might try to take it.
You know, there is a show on Netflix, which I haven't watched yet, which I'm planning on watching, called Dangerous Tourism. And it's all about this guy who likes to take vacations to dangerous places. I think Manila might be on his map. And just go to Manila and shoot the whole thing panoramic. You know?
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be. All right, so now I'm sort of in a mid zone, and in a moment I'll be in the low zone, and then I'll be going back to the high zone.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's on like 360. It's definitely not high definition.
Well, you know, earlier Scott was talking about that extra picture we get from Skype. His extra picture is kind of panned and scanned in a way. It's wide. It's not wide, but it's it is. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, everybody.
Looks like New York City. Sounds like New York City.
Well, we finally got sun. You know, it's taken a couple of weeks, but we finally got the sun here.
So, but why did you go to fucking why'd you go to Manila? Why'd you go to the Philippines?
I've told you a million times. It's very cheap.
Yeah, but it looks like it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Only if you walk around with the phone sideways.
I mean, as you're sitting there, lying in a pool of blood, grasping your phone in your hand in panoramic mode, and you're gurgling, you're breathing your last, you can gurgle out the words, but it was cheap.
Well, no. No, I mean, there's so many things that we wouldn't have time. You have 10 minutes. I wouldn't be able to tell you all the things. But as a general rule of thumb, the Philippines is kind of like, it reminds me of when I was growing up in the 70s in the U.S.
Yeah.
People are kind of happier. They're more helpful. When you talk to someone, they don't assume that you're negative or going to do something bad. They assume that you're a nice person and it's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have rules for everything here, like can't do this, can't do that, don't say this, don't say that. It's a more open society. Everyone smiles, and I swear to you, 99.9% of the people I meet are happy, like just all the time. It's really infectious.
How about those guys?
So you might see
those guys who are passed out on the street. You think they're happy?
I think they're happy.
Okay.
Now, their circumstance is not happy. But I guarantee you, if I woke them up, well, first they wouldn't be able to speak English very well. Yeah, even though English is sort of. Oh, here you go. This is for you, Alex.
What? Oh, the Kismet.
The Kismet Cafe. They have free Wi-Fi. But that's the thing. Like, you'll be in kind of an area.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there'll be something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Now over there,
there's
the only Ladyboy bar in the city.
Wait a minute.
And they have midget wrestling.
Yeah. Down the street, a woman is walking with an umbrella. Now, it's not raining, right? That's what they do to take care of the sun.
A parasol. It's a
Right.
parasol.
They're keeping themselves out of.
Oh
the
yeah,
sun.
parasol. Boy, people still use those. Wow.
Well, I'll tell you.
doubt
I think using in this heat, especially like where Scott is, if he used an umbrella, at least it would shade him. You know, how hot has it been?
I think it was 114 degrees today in Arizona.
In Arizona, but how
116.
How hot was it today in your neck of the woods, Scott?
It was actually a cold front came through. It only got to be 97.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, it was nice.
Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Yeah.
Oh my God!
That's a good sound. Hey, I want in a second. I want to change to something. I have a question for Alex.
Yeah.
Should I do it now?
Yeah, sure. Why don't you mute yourself there,
Bob's
Bree?
Big Boy.
Yeah, I just did. Yeah.
No, Bree.
Is that a Bob's Big Boy?
Bree, why don't you?
Well, like somebody got killed. That's not my noise.
Bree, why don't you mute yourself? Okay. Okay. Anyway, Steve, what did you want to ask me?
Okay.
Well, I haven't listened since the another death. But Alex, when you were working at WPLJ and those, did you spend any time, any significant or any interesting time ever with Dan Ingram?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
No, I wasn't.
He was the afternoon. Yeah,
I wasn't.
Yeah.
No, I was. I wasn't there when Dan Ingram worked at WMCA.
No, at WABC though. He was doing afternoon.
I never worked at WABC.
You PLJ.
No, but you were at the FM. They were. Yeah, they were on the other. They were on the lower floor.
I don't know. I don't know. I never met up with Ingram, and I don't know if he was working there at the time I was at PLJ. I think he had left by then.
No, Ingram was. You was at PLJ. You know, from '73 to '78. Ingram was at the AM all those years. So.
And
Ingram was.
Sabi, right? He just passed away, not recently, but.
Yeah, about a month ago. Not maybe. Yeah. He was.
I was surprised at his. I was surprised at his death because I didn't even know he was still alive.
Right.
And you know what got him was he didn't have Parkinson's. He had a Parkinson's type that he had polio.
Oh, here we go. I'm going to go get my gun again. What? Yeah. He had Parkinson's what?
He had a Parkinson's-like disease, yeah, like a polio. And what happened with Dan is he was in a nursing home in Florida, I think, and he was eating a steak because he choked his muscles. He couldn't swallow the steak, and that's what actually killed him.
This conversation is what's going to kill me.
No, it wasn't the fat, but it was he choked. I had a neighbor who had Down syndrome. The same thing happened to him at a nursing home, but he was only like 50. He lived long for Down syndrome.
How good is a nursing home? How good? Wait a minute. How good can a nurse?
Mama Cass dying.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. How good can a nursing home be if people die in the nursing home?
They always die in the nursing home.
No, but I mean,
chop it up or something. Yeah.
You would think that a nursing home would be working overtime to make sure people don't die, or choke on a ham sandwich or whatever. You know.
I'll tell you which nursing. I'll tell you a group. I don't want to defame any, but I'll tell you. I was in for rehab after my surgeries. I was in Care One facilities and. A friend of mine nicknamed it and said it's not Care One, it's Care None. And I'll tell you, they're good. They're aesthetically the facilities are beautiful and the staff is nice, but they're inept. They don't.
Let's not talk about this, Steve, because they have lawyers. Okay. And Gabnet doesn't have lawyers, and Gabnet doesn't want to pay for lawyers.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. Jeff, you haven't said anything much tonight. How are you, Jeff? How's
I'm doing great.
How's the health going? When are you going to? Where is it? Italy.
Italy. In next month.
Yeah.
About 15th.
About the 15th.
And I'm taking the whole family.
So you're going at the same time that Phil is getting his heart operation.
I know.
Yeah.
On the 16th, they're sticking me with cameras and dye and stents.
Is that DYE?
What?
Is that DYE dye?
No. Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
DYE.
Good. Because I don't want it to be DIE.
No. I was talking to somebody about that.
What have we got? Manila is the noisiest fucking city in the world. Hey,
it's
Bree.
Traffic.
Bree. Bree. Mute. Bree. I gotta hang up on him. I can't.
Remember, I'm on a Russian phone.
Oh.
When you say like mute and do this, you act like I'm on a $10,000.
Yeah, but we all we could hear was an amazing amount of Manila noise.
Hey, Bree, are the instructions on that phone in Russian? You know, so like the buttons, are they Russian letters?
Yes. Yet.
Really? That's great.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Da.
Okay.
Let me say Nostrovia.
Yeah, Gorbachev.
It's so frustrating. You have no idea how frustrating it is to use this phone.
You want to know something? You're doing
it. It has
it.
an e-ink display, so it's really, in that sense, I like it. Yeah. It can do a lot of things that a regular phone can't do.
This thing does everything, including recognize me. See?
Does it say hello?
Really, it absolutely.
Where did that girl go?
It never fails to recognize me.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah, we can still hear you. Now you're frozen. Now you're not.
Reaching brakes. Oh God, I hope he's okay in that traffic.
So when are you getting back to?
Getting hit by a bus.
Can you hear me? Okay,
I'm really trying. But the screen is just frozen, and now it's blank, and I can't really do anything.
Yeah, well, forget about doing anything. When are you going back to Dubai?
Well, I will be going to Malaysia. As I told you, I'll be going to Malaysia first. I don't know why they've delayed this now, like 3 times, but they can't get the whole committee together. So I'll be going to Malaysia August 1st, and then back to Dubai August 4th, and then over to New York on August 7th.
When you do that, give me a call, and let's have a bite to eat. Just email me at alex@gabnet.net, and I'll give you a phone number, and we'll have some lunch together.
Will.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this guy.
What'd you say? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Good. Let me try to get through. Use my.
Yeah. Can you show us the street, Bree, a little more?
Yeah. Go panoramic.
Are you seeing me? Are you seeing me or the?
We're seeing
you.
Sorry.
Probably your throat.
Yeah.
Alex.
Sorry. What, Steve?
Alex.
Now are you seeing things?
No, we see the street now.
I haven't checked the updated most recent, but have you added by any chance anything else to the life in the passing lane since like 67? Okay, I didn't think so.
No.
Okay.
Because nothing's happened much in my life since I ended it. Right. You know, it used to be that I had enough interesting things happening in my life that I could say, okay, we'll do another chapter, but I have nothing else. You know. Oh boy! Hey, turn down the noise, Bree. Well, now he's freezing.
Oh my God,
Boy, it's noisy there, Bree.
Yeah, you might need to mute Bree. It's
Bree. We're getting
kind of annoying.
we're getting to the end of the show. So why don't I say goodbye to you since the noises and you're breaking up on us and everything else? Okay. Yeah, and I'll see you in New York. Oh boy.
You hung up on him. Now you're going to have to pay for lunch.
Well, also we lost Scott Boddicker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But hopefully we'll get him back before the show's over. But it's almost over anyway. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting show we did here tonight. You know, I kind of like it.
So, Alex, do you ever go sailing?
Do I ever go sailing?
You went sailing with me on the bay.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go sailing if somebody's got a boat and says, "Do you want to go sailing?" Yeah.
Yeah, we've got. My wife has one.
Has a boat?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on my friend's 34-foot yawl, and out in the bay.
Yeah. Okay.
I was out there today in Long Island Sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Really? Is she? And she has her own little boat?
Her and her girlfriend.
And how big a boat is it?
A big man. 28 feet.
That's pretty good
Nice.
size. Yeah, that's nice. Sailboat or motor?
Sail or power?
It's sail, but I mean it has a little power.
Well, of course,
Just to get you.
most sailboats have power as a backup.
Just to get out through the river.
The channel.
On there.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we certainly.
And we're right off the train.
Yeah, this has been an interesting night. We have Steve, he's in New Jersey, and we have Charlene, she's in New Jersey. We have John Peroulis, who's in New Jersey. We have Jeff, who's in New Jersey.
Never.
We have Phil Meyer, who's in New Jersey.
Do you know I can't go to New Jersey?
Why?
In 1972, I was driving from New York to Miami, and I got pulled over on the Jersey State Turnpike doing 85 and a 75, I think, or a 70. And so I said to the cop, "What happens if I don't pay this ticket?" He says, "You better not come back to New Jersey." So I never did. So
Charlene, I've forgotten. I know I heard you on before, but where in New Jersey are you?
This is Central Jersey.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm sorry the show has to end right now because we're getting to a point here where we'll find out everything about New Jersey we ever wanted to know. And unfortunately, we don't have time for that.
I know somebody who goes to Red.
So
that's like New Brunswick.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for calling tonight and depressing the shit out of me.
Yeah, I know. I do that too often. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to call for a while because so many things are. But I'm all right. I made it through, and everything. I'm better off for it. I learned a lot, and I've learned a lot, and I'm just glad that I'm here, and I'm glad we're here, and it's just. I'm very grateful that I have what I have. I have problems, but so does everybody.
That's right. And John Peroulis, thank you. Glad to have you back. Please call more often, will you please? Thank you. Jeff, always nice to have you here. Steve, good talking to you. Charlene, wonderful to have you here. Of course, the lovely and attractive Patrick, Blazik, and of course Phil Meyer. Why don't you all wave goodbye at the camera, except the people who are on the phone? They can't do that. And thank you to Scott too, and thanks to Bree. And we'll see you all hopefully tomorrow. That's it for our fine program. Let me get rid of all these people on the citizen panel, and let me relinquish the Skype phone line so the next show can use it. Yeah, we use Skype. for as long as we can. Anyway, I'm Alex Bennett. Jack Bishop is next with a program called The Intersection. That will be followed very closely at 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern Daylight Time by Connections coming out of Florida. And then tomorrow night at 8:30, it's our sports show, The Arena, with Franchise MC, followed by Damien, who will be back at 9:30. I'll be here again tomorrow night, 10 p.m., same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye, everybody.